Ever felt yourself snap at something small and then wonder, why did that bother me so much? That's not just a mood swing, it's a trigger. And triggers don't lie, they point straight to the wounds we haven't healed. In this video, I'm exposing the real reason you keep getting stuck, reactive, and drained. It's not just stress, bad luck, or just how you are. It's the hidden emotional baggage that you've been dragging around for years. We're going deep into the psychology and energy of triggers, what they reveal, why you should stop avoiding them, and how facing them can set you free. Let's get started. Triggers aren't the problem. They're the alert system for what still needs healing. That random comment that made your blood boil, the look someone gave you that made you feel invisible, the rejection that spiraled into days of self-doubt. None of that started today. Triggers are echoes. They're energetic flashbacks from past wounds that haven't been resolved, and they show up to tell you something deeper is going on. That pain you feel when someone interrupts you might be a buried wound of feeling unheard. That anger when your partner doesn't text you back could trace all the way back to abandonment issues from childhood. Imagine your trigger is like a smoke alarm. The sound is loud and uncomfortable, but the alarm itself isn't the issue. It's the smoke or the fire happening beneath the surface. So when you get triggered, instead of silencing the alarm, you've got to investigate the source. What's burning underneath? What story is being activated? Have you ever met someone who has everything together on the outside, but they snap at the smallest thing? They're not reacting to what's happening now. They're reacting to an emotional archive they haven't cleared. Triggers become like energetic potholes in your system. You keep tripping over the same wound until you heal it, and that's why it feels like you're stuck in the same cycles over and over again. The same fights, the same fears, and the same emotional roller coasters. Unhealed wounds don't just live in your mind, they live in your body, your energy, and your nervous system. We think we've moved on from past pain just because time has passed. But time doesn't heal, processing does. When pain doesn't get processed, it becomes suppressed, and suppressed energy is stagnant energy. Stagnant energy can make you reactive, tired for no reason, emotionally numb or hypersensitive, and energetically blocked. You're not just reacting to situations, you're reacting to stories, old programs, buried emotions, and unresolved pain you thought you'd moved on from. Unhealed wounds quietly rule your life. They decide who you trust. They shape how much you love. They control how much you believe you deserve. That's why one person's comment can ruin your day, but leave someone else unfazed. It's not about them, it's about you. And that's the good news, because it means you have the power to change it. Let's talk energy. Every trigger is the activation of an old seed of pain, usually planted when you were too young or too overwhelmed to process it. Think of it like this: a trigger is the fruit, but the seed was planted long ago. That seed is an energetic imprint, a moment of pain, shame, betrayal, or abandonment that your system couldn't fully handle. So instead of releasing it, you stored it. And every time something reminds you of that original wound, even unconsciously, it waters the seed, it sprouts, it takes over your inner state. This is why triggers feel so disproportionate. You're not just reacting to now, you're reacting to then as well. It's like someone tapping on a bruise. The pressure isn't intense, but the spot is tender because it's already hurt. When you heal the bruise, the energy at the root, you stop flinching. Energetically, triggers are indicators of where life force is stuck. Healing them is like removing a blockage in your internal river so the flow returns. Here's where the shift happens. When you stop seeing triggers as something to fear and start treating them as teachers, everything changes. Triggers are your most honest feedback system. They show you where you're still hurting, where you're still holding on to the past, and where you're still giving away your power. If being criticized absolutely crushes you, the teacher might be showing you an old wound around not feeling good enough. The trigger isn't trying to ruin your day. It's trying to liberate a part of you that's still stuck in pain. This is the real work, the shadow work, or the energetic cleanup. And yes, it's uncomfortable, but it's also the path to peace. Because once you face the trigger and release the wound, you become unshakable. You don't need to wait for a full meltdown to do this work. You can start right now. Here's a simple trigger reflection process. Notice the reaction. What just happened? What emotion rose up quickly? Was it anger, fear, shame, or defensiveness? Then ask yourself, where have I felt this before? When you recognize that you've been triggered, pause, take a breath, and see if a memory comes up. It might not be clear at first, but even a vague feeling or image counts. Next, you'll want to ask, what did this make me believe about myself? Examples could be thoughts of not being enough, the feeling of I don't matter, I'm not safe, or I'll always be rejected. Silently say to your inner child, I see you, I hear your pain, you're not going to be abandoned or left alone. But that story doesn't define me anymore. Hold your hand over your heart and say, I forgive myself for holding on to this pain. I forgive those who hurt me, not because they were right, but because I choose peace. Do this regularly. You'll start to see patterns, and more importantly, you'll finally start to break them. Triggers aren't here to torment you. They're here to wake you up, to show you what's unhealed so you can finally be free. And yes, facing your pain takes courage, but suppressing it takes your life force. You deserve to get your energy back. So what if, just for a moment, you stopped fearing your triggers and started listening to them? What if you saw them as sacred signals that you're ready to stop carrying what was never yours to begin with? That work isn't easy. It takes honesty, vulnerability, and courage, but the rewards are enormous. And here's the most powerful part. As you do this work, not only do you transform your life, you stop passing your pain down to others. You stop projecting it onto your relationships. You stop transferring it to your kids, your partner, your team, and your community. You become a living example of what real healing looks like. Thank you so much for watching. If this video resonated with you, you need to watch my other video, Forgiveness for Difficult People, where I go deeper into how forgiveness works, and I also include a powerful guided meditation at the end for you to start your healing journey. Until next time, take care, face your triggers, heal the root, and rise into your power.